What is up, you guys? My name's Eden, and I am here to do for those of you that have been with me for a while, these won't be new to you. And for those of you that are new, I hope you enjoy this style of video that we're doing. So I'm going to start doing again my tarot reads for the seasons. So we're going to start with Aries first. One thing I do want to say about these readings, just be patient with me on getting out the signs. It takes a while for me to do these readings only because I have to meditate before I actually go into any kind of tarot thing. And so what I'm trying to say is, so the meditation has to come before the actual filming, and so therefore breaking down all the symbolism and everything that takes time as well. And so I'm going to get these out as quickly as possible. Just please be patient with me. Okay, so we're going to start out with Aries for Taurus season. So Aries, your meditative session was really interesting. So what I got first was this orb of light. From the inside going out, it was yellow, orange, red. And I think this is really interesting. One, because that is the colors of the three chakras. So you have the root chakra, which is red, and then the sacral chakra, which would be orange, and then the solar plexus, which would be yellow. And so all of those chakras and energies are really being highlighted and really utilized right now, I think, in Taurus season. But I think the most important part of that energy or that symbolism that I got was that you, of course, have all of this energy, all of this passion and creativity. You want to go out and do things, and you want to create, and you want to start things and pioneer. That's awesome. I think Taurus season, rightfully so, is really challenging you to take all of that energy and possibly aggression and really asking you to focus on where should it be going. Really asking you, is it worth it to actually put my energy into this place? Is it worth it to actually go after this thing? And it's just really asking you in general, where am I going with this? And I think that was such a big part of why these colors are showing up in an orb and not just taking over everywhere, because obviously that can lead to burnout, and we really need to prioritize and reorganize where are we putting our energy. And so I really want you to think about that. I also got a seagull. Seagulls are interesting for symbolism, because seagulls are scavengers. Seagulls, they're very opportunistic animals, in an animal totem. They're definitely asking you to soar above, and definitely asking you to rise above things. It's really interesting. I live next to a beach, and so I actually had to go out and observe seagulls, since this was part of the meditative session. Seagulls, they do something really interesting. When they're above the water, they'll fly, and then they'll continue to flap their wings, but sometimes they'll just hover in place. And then all of a sudden, if the wind is blowing a different way, then they'll just glide. It's almost like the feathers, their wings stop flapping, and they just glide. I think a lot of, even though this is Taurus season and it's very fixed energy, I think a lot of what this symbolism is telling me and telling you is also not just to, focus your energy in the right places, but also to be flexible, to be willing to, if something's not working out correctly or the way that you thought it would, to just know that wherever you're supposed to be and whatever you're seeking is already seeking you. And wherever you are right now, even if you're getting resistance and frustration, that's okay. You're where you're supposed to be. Does that make sense, Aries? The last thing I saw is, or not saw, it was more of a feeling. So is I got all of a sudden my throat chakra and heart chakra were on fire, but it was also somebody was pushing or like shoving. So like a lot of that resistance. Aries, you might be getting a lot of people that just don't understand your point of view, or where you feel like you are very justified in expressing yourself and you're trying to be your most authentic self, but you're just getting a lot of challenges. And remember what I said about the seagull. Make sure that you are definitely not running your energy out where it doesn't need to be. Make sure that you're really paying attention to if things are worth it or not. I sound like a broken record, but like you get the point. Making sure that you're being adaptable. It doesn't mean that you have to give up your goals, but it is saying to maybe take a different perspective on your situation right now, and maybe making reorganizing and reassigning certain meanings to not just internal parts of yourself, but external parts of your life and environment as well. And that's just not for like situations, but it can also be for people in your life as well. Looking at people a different way, looking at people in relationships as well, looking at money, and you know, your partnerships with money. I know that the full moon in Scorpio and new moon in Taurus will be in your second and eighth house. And so it can really be asking you to transform the way you look at money, look at your possessions, and maybe even the have money like with other people, or where you expend energy, or where you merge with others. With that being said, Aries, let's go ahead and get into your tarot for Taurus season. I'm going to use the major arcana deck first that I have. So let's see what we have for you. Okay. Ooh, okay, so Aries, we actually have your card. We have the Emperor, which is, in this deck, it's the Fireballer, which we saw a ball of fire earlier, so I don't know how much more direct we can get than that. The Emperor is all about being in charge and really creating and manifesting here on the physical plane, but I think it's so important to realize with the Emperor, it's controlled energy. It's also saying that, yes, I created this and I'm defending it as well, but I'm not being tactless. I'm making sure that my focus and where I'm putting my energy and the decisions I make are smart. I'm not being reckless about this. I'm being as strategic as possible, because remember, I'm not a soldier. I've upped the ante. I've leveled up. There we go. To being not just a general, but I am the Emperor. I have a divine purpose, and that cannot be shaken by frustrations that I might come up against in Taurus season. So just remember that, Aries. Let's go into just kind of a regular tarot deck. This one's calling out to me the most. Let's see what we have for Aries. Okay. Yeah, I keep getting like this light. I keep seeing like very like much fire energy for you. I just saw like the sun with like clouds. So definitely facing a bit of resistance, Aries. I don't think it's going to deter you from any of your goals or getting where you want to go. I just think that maybe, you need to stay adaptable, maybe be a little bit less hard-headed, and see exactly where you are right now, even with the frustrations and obstacles, is exactly where you're supposed to be, and changing your view based on that. Let's see what we have. We have the King of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting. We have the the Four of Swords. Okay. The Ten of Swords. the Star, the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Lover's card. So let's start with the Lover's card, okay? The Lover's card is not only about your relationship, so we were talking about who you merge with energetically. We were also talking about like merged finances possibly as well, or just like a relationship, whether it be a romantic relationship or an actual like financial or business relationship. There is some sort of choice being made. There is a change of perspective that needs to happen. The Lover's choice is not just about relationships and perspective. The Lover's card is also all about choices. And do we make the choice to see things differently? Especially when we have the Star card coming up. You're going to get to your goals, like I was saying, but it just really depends on your open-mindedness to the situations that are happening on the way there. Even if you might not understand what's happening right now, you're definitely going to end up getting some resistance, some possibly very upsetting endings, but don't worry about it. Like we said, we have the Star card. All of this, like we had the Lovers, like we talked about before. All of this is what's happening right now is obviously meant to happen. It's really meant to change the game for you. And it's just that you just have to get rid of some things first, whether it be actual relationships that are holding you back, habits, mentalities, structures that you have just kind of really been holding on to, needing to hold, like to actually purge those so you can get clarity. And either doing that will actually open up doors for you, or just rerouting. You might come up against some people that just don't have your best interest in mind. This can also be you, Aries, just kind of getting in your own way. Be very careful about, with all that frustration, cutting corners. I know in our rush to kind of want to get to our goals, and with all the frustration, sometimes we want to undercut the process. And with the Eight of Pentacles is definitely saying that paying attention to those details, making sure that we are going through the whole process and going step by step, looking at quality over quantity is definitely what's needed right now. And I know that Aries, sometimes you can get very caught up in that competition mind of everything, and it can be hard sometimes for you to see the long game. But I think that you're really thriving right now. Just make sure that you go through every step and you appreciate and learn from every step of the way in this process during Taurus season. I think that's really what Taurus season is trying to bring to you. Definitely make sure that you're taking time to step back. Look, oh my God, I can't make this up. Look at it. These are seagulls. Holy shit, I think these are seagulls. I do believe these are seagulls. To face challenges. Really making sure that you're facing those challenges. I have no doubt in my mind that you will definitely do that. But, just facing those challenges as they come and not getting discouraged by them. The Four of Swords is really a card about stepping back when you need to be able to get that perspective, but also just taking that time for you. You're facing a lot of possibly people that are just no good for you. Really take some time. I hate to say this, but take time for self-care. It's needed for sure. And self-care isn't always about eating a huge piece of cake, although it is Taurus season, so it can definitely be about that. But self-care isn't always about getting in a bubble bath with some ice cream. Self-care is about what will give you peace in the long run, not just right now. And that's what you're working on. That is the self-care that you need. And learning ways to take stress off of you is going to come through being able to step back and really see things for what they are, and changing or rerouting based on that, and purging where you need to, because it's about quality. not quantity. Lastly, we have the King of Cups. This could be a person that's just very balanced emotionally. And I think this is more you. Remember, we got the Emperor before. And what is the Emperor? But the main archetype that all of the kings are kind of like split into across the suits. And so the King of Cups is really talking about somebody that has a lot of creativity, but they balance that off with their work ethic and they let things get done. Those things are in balance. They do what they have to do. They're definitely a hustler, but they don't let those emotions overtake them because they see that end goal and they are very solid in that. They don't let their emotions just kind of run the show. And that is something that is definitely, it has been shown over and over with all the cards that we've gotten for you, Aries. So with that being said, Aries, that is your reading, and I will be back hopefully very soon with Taurus's reading for Taurus season. All right, bye.